Supernatural Season 11, Episode 22, We Happy Few. Now, going into the season finale, I think this was a really insane episode. Like, going through it, I was watching because I was like, I think it was only like, I'm only a couple days behind on it. But when I was watching, I'm like, is this the finale? And then I was thinking, I was like, no, they didn't play this song, so it can't be the actual finale. I was like, maybe I was off a week or something like that, and I had to like check and make sure. But everything that happened, I was like, how is this not the actual finale of the season? Because they get everybody together. They bring in Crowley. They get Rowena. They pseudo introduce other witches because they kill them all off anyway. So they kind of introduce new witches, but they get everybody together. They have angels working together. They have demons working together. They didn't really have the angels working together like I thought. They kind of had the whole thing where Lucifer went to heaven and then, he brought Cass back, which was a cool scene. We got to hear, actually have Cass. So that was really cool, which we also have at the end of the episode, which I'll, of course, get to all that craziness. But they didn't really show up too crazy. I mean, when they did, like, the whole spiral thing, I thought that was supposed to be the angels. But that was actually all the demons and stuff attacking Amara after Rowena did the cool, like, purple lightning move, which I thought was pretty sweet, and was like, man, that was actually really cool. And of course, she doesn't die, but for whatever reason, Amara reverting the spell just knocked her back, and then it, like, completely wiped out the other four witches, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, that's a little messed up, but obviously, you have, your main actress, she's gonna survive, but it backfires on, like, all the other witches, and they, like, get roasted alive. I was like, that's kind of messed up, but it was also a little funny. But they didn't really have the angels come in like I thought they would. We do get references to the archangels as to why they can't be utilized for help, because it would just, they're imbued with so much basically godly primordial power that it would just take too long. The one archangel they have, he's a little messed up right now, so wouldn't be enough help. So I thought it was kind of cool, like, they gave references to everybody. It's like, well, we can't use him, he's real messed up. Can't use these guys because they're gone, and it would just take too long for me to get them back. So let's kind of just band together. We got Sam, Dean, God, Lucifer, Crowley and Rowena, and the power of the devil. Both devils, I guess. The power of both devils, bunch of demons. Like I said, not really the angels. I didn't think about that really until I started the review. I was like, they didn't actually do like a big show of force for the angels, unless I'm forgetting something. Because like I said, when they did the spiral, I thought that was going to be the angels doing the smiting again. It was like, okay, that didn't kill her, but that's even referenced in this episode. It was like the angels did a bit of damage, and it was like, I think it was Crowley that made the joke, like, well, if you mean like puking, then yeah, they did some damage, but it really messed her up, and they didn't really have a bit of a, much of a show of force. But I love the way everything played out in this one. We had an interesting scene early on with Crowley where he's like, we can get back hell and make it great again. And everyone kind of just disses him. It's like, you were, like, you're, bitch here, bitch there again, licking the floor with your tongue. And it was just really funny. And it was like, everyone was like, the only reason we showed up is to just kind of watch the monkey dance, see what you would do. Same old, same old. And they take off and abandon him. And it's like, man, he has zero respect at this point, which he may or may not get back depending on how everything plays out with Amara. It's like, hey, you guys listen, we banded together. I'm sure he'll kind of spin and be like, you followed under your ruler and stuff like that, because it's Crowley. But it was just interesting. It was a cool little scene where it's like, he's lost everyone. Like, he always makes those promises, and it just turns around where he's helping Sam and Dean, or he's just being taken over by somebody else. And it was just like, yeah, it's true. It's not like it's the first time it's been said. They said it, especially during the Demon Dean stuff. They were saying, like, oh, he's just hanging out with Dean Winchester, like, they're just best friends and stuff. So it was kind of cool. They also had a great line with Crowley. It was like, I'm flattered by you trying to rekindle the bromance and stuff. That was really funny. But, they recruit everybody. They get them all together. They have a great scene that was really funny early on as well between Lucifer and Chuck, where it's like, you guys have to band together and reconcile with all your, about your differences and stuff. And that was just really funny. And they kind of threw another nod at kind of at the show itself, where it's like Sam and Dean are always lying to each other. And Dean's like, oh, you can say sorry, it's super easy. Like, I say it to Sam all the time, and I don't even mean it. And then he looks, he's like, sorry. It's like, see? Nothing. And it was just really funny. I was like, I love that scene. And Chuck is just like, all right. And he just, sends him upstairs and stuff. But they actually talk it out. They kind of, bond together. So we have the team. They're doing everything they can. They get some good hits in on Amara. She goes in, and ultimately she gives up. Like, we find out that she's technically not supposed to die because it's sort of a yin-yang sort of deal. Like, there can't be the light of God without the nothingness of Amara. She has to be caged up. And I guess that's why his plan wasn't to commit suicide, it was to be caged, because it's like, well, one of us has to be alive. And maybe that'll come out to Amara in the next episode, which I'm sure she's not going to care about, but maybe they'll kind of reveal that, like, hey, you kind of have to cage him up at least. You can't just kill him, because there has to be Chuck, there has to be God, and there has to be Amara. You two have to exist in the universe. You just both have to. So that might come up to her in the finale, but we'll kind of wait and see. She also took off. She was just like, I got what I needed, and she was gone in the end of the episode. So I was kind of surprised by that as well. But they get all their hits in. She, I really thought they were gonna do it. I'm like, man, obviously something's about to happen here, but it seemed like everything kind of went according to plan. Lucifer basically could have killed her when he was about. It seemed like he was gonna like stab her in the neck or something, and Chuck stopped him. And she was gonna give up. She was like, basically, you guys beat me. Like, I'm super weak. I got hit with purple. I got lightning. I got demons scratching me up and crap and tossing me in the cars. I got stabbed through by Lucifer. And fine, just kill me off. And then she realizes that she's not just going to be killed, she's going to be caged again. And we also early on have Sam, of course, once again, them lying and stuff like that. We find out that Sam has to get the Mark of Cain, which they don't do, which I wouldn't have hated it personally. I was very curious. I'm like, how are they going to do this with, like Dean can't take it back because he's already had it. And he's, as Chuck said, he's been tainted by it, so he can't have it back. And then, he goes off to Sam. I was like, how is that going to play out? That should be cool. They both end up with the mark and we see the differences. I would actually love to have seen that. And we still might. I don't know. Who knows? Because with Chuck out of the picture, I would assume he was the only one that could have actually done that sort of transference spell with the actual, Mark of Cain. Which they did the spell before technically to get it off of Dean, which they could probably do again, but that took a long time anyway because they needed like the book and Rowena, a bunch of like super high level stuff for a spell. So probably won't be pulling that off again. Just like, all right, we need to do this again and take it off of her and put it on Sam or something. So that probably won't end up happening in the finale. But they go through it. When she finds out she's about to be caged, she kind of restructures herself a little bit, and it was like, oh, she's not ready to give up. To be just put in the cage, like dying, it would just be done. It'd be like, you know what, this battle is over. I can let it go. I can die and it'll be done. You beat me, that's it. But when she found out she was going in the cage, it was like, oh no, I need to kind of amp myself up again. And she does it, and she picks up Chuck. He's floating in the air, pushes Lucifer back, pushes Sam and Dean, and she has like the darkness come out of her dress again, which we haven't seen in I don't think we saw that since she actually pulled the darkness back in after she was, I guess, smited or smoked, something like that. I forgot what the past tense was. She was smited, I guess, in the other episode. But that was pretty cool, and she has like the darkness pour out of her, and then she's like shooting through Chuck and stuff like that. So he's knocked out. She's like, welcome to the end. They have the stuff with Rowena, which I thought was a slightly confusing scene. I was like, I thought they were gonna show her looking at something because she was just like looking up at the sun, and it ended up being nothing. So I thought that was a little weird that they were cutting back to her, and she's like looking up like this, and then they don't show anything from her perspective. I was like, oh, okay, unless I missed something for like a split second, but I'm pretty sure I didn't take my eyes off the screen during like that last little moment. So I don't know what happened there. I was watching it online, so unless they'd skipped something like super fast and I didn't see it, I don't think they actually showed anything during that scene, so it was a little confusing to me. But Chuck he's not dead. She does say that he is dying, so there might be a way to save him. I highly doubt that Lucifer is dead. I'm pretty sure Amara just like cast him out. So he's been cast out, so we will actually have Cass back in the finale, which I think is very awesome. Like, we've been missing cast for a super long time. We got a little bit of them in this one, and it was really just for like a little speech. But we're gonna have like full on cast. Like, hey, we have you back. It's we have our trio. We have Sam, Dean, and Cass. For the finale, we have our two villains. Our in between villains with Crowley and Rowena, and we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely looking forward to this finale. I think this was a crazy way to lead into the finale for this season with them possibly killing off God. I'm like, all this time and God is gonna die? Like, that's crazy to me. But they might do it. They might end up saving him somehow. They might like cage both of them at the same time, and it'll be like season 5 or something crazy like that. And it's like, well, there you go. You guys hate each other, but now you're stuck together. And who knows? Maybe that's how it'll play out. But of course, I would love to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below and your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and of course, gotta ask what you guys are expecting to see for the finale. Will either Sam or Dean die? I think that's a very valid question to ask. I highly doubt it, but it's supernatural. It's supernatural. And actually, that would be a thing. I mean, that was kind of a big deal early on, where it's like, hey, you guys die, you're dead, and they touched on that recently, so they might not do it as a part of the finale where it's like someone is gone, but who knows? It's the finale. Anything might happen, and they have God. They basically have God and other God. So who knows what might happen? There could be everybody could die. I doubt it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, though, definitely want to know your predictions for the finale, what you think might happen, who will live, who will die, whether it's Sam or Dean or anybody else who might live, who might die. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.